Subscribe to see what's next. It's Cut City Connect.
Yo, 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 YouTube, what is the deal? It's your boy TJ Anderson, and I'm logging in to bring you guys another video. And in this video, I have a very special guest, and y'all know how I like to do it. I'm not gonna do it. My main man, you got the floor.
What's up, y'all? My name is Montgomery, and I'm an assistant coach at Florida Tech University.
Nice, nice. Welcome, 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 Coach Montgomery, to the Clutch City Connect podcast.
Appreciate you for having me.
Hey, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have you, my man. So, you ready to get it started?
Always ready.
Hey, my main man say you got to stay ready to keep from getting ready. You feel me? So, I want to go into the first segment of this episode, right? I want to talk about background and journey, right? So, Coach, my first question for you is, how did you get started in coaching, and what inspired you to pursue this path?
Honestly, what got me into coaching, I always will tell this story. It was after my senior year of college, I played at Spalding University in Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm originally from. When I was a senior, this freshman name was Jacoby Johnston. Like, we still tight to this day. And I mean, I did pretty good at my school. Like, I still got records and stuff like that. And so, like, he was like, "Man, who trained you?" And I'm like, "Nobody." Like, I just get in the gym and just hoop, work. Like, nobody know my game better than me. Watch a bunch of film. He was like, "Man, can I train with you?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, everybody was open to training with me. Like, I was not one of the ones like, "Now I'm gonna train by myself." But it's like, when we here to work. Like, my workouts were no longer than like 30, 40 minutes. So it's like we just going the whole time. So when I graduated, we still stayed in touch, and I was always at the gym all the time at my old university, playing pickup and whatnot. So I started training him. Then one of my old high school assistant coaches got a head job, and he was like, "Man, I would love to have you on." So I just started with that. Then I missed the college game so much, and yeah, that's what really got me into Jacoby Johnson. I would say, like, he got me into like coaching. Like, me training him got me into like in coaching.
Nice. That's a phenomenal story. Hey, and sometimes it's the little things, right?
Yeah, because I didn't even want to coach.
Really?
Nah, my dad called it my dad said this when I was like 12, 13. He was like, "You gonna coach?" And I was like, "Nah." Like, so I didn't even want to coach, because my whole thing was like, when I first got to college, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna get my degree and just figure it out." Then like I started progressing. I was like, "Okay, I could probably take this a little further." So like after like my junior year on, I was like, "I'm gonna go play overseas." That's when I thought it was easy. I said, "I'm gonna go play overseas. I'm gonna come back, be a PE teacher, and I'm gonna just kick it, like just coast along. Maybe I might do high school basketball." But I had in my mind, like, I'm like, nah, I was not gonna coach at all.
Well, you know what, Coach? I have to say, it was prophesied, and that prophecy came true, my man. And like I say, it's just the little things, like just training and being in a position where you can work with players.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, even with my own personal story, I coach AAU, and right now I'm working on a lot of my credentials so I can get to the point where I can possibly one day in the future coach college basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've stepped away from the game many times, just because I've lost the passion. But really, I didn't lose it. I think it was more so something that I put in storage, because at the time I was dealing with so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always been something to bring me back to basketball. Always. That's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I've had plenty of people. I mean, even kind of similar to you from an early age, saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a good coach. You're gonna be a phenomenal coach."
Yep.
And I'm just like, what? Like, nah, I just like to play the game, but I like to coach the game. And I've been really coaching. I'm 32 now. I've been coaching since I really graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
I got the opportunity with my AAU coach, and he asked for me every year. So, it's a blessing to be in a position like that. And it's a blessing for you to be there. That's why I say it's a calling, and sometimes it's in you.
Yeah, 'cause I stepped away for a year. Like, when I graduated, like, I stepped away. Like, I was working human resources, like working a regular everyday job. But I was like, it's one of those ones like, man, I miss it. Cause like really that training and like my boys, I was HR, and then like my boys was like working there on the floor, and he was like, man, we hoop every Thursday, come hoop. Cause he used to tell people all the time, he's like, man, Marcus could hoop, he could hoop. Like I'm telling, like he been knowing me since I was like 9. And I'm not one of those ones like go out and be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. My whole thing was like, I'm gonna go hoop, go to school, and go home. That was my whole thing.
Right.
And he was like, man, you need to come hoop. Like Gary G keep talking about you. And I'll just go out there and hoop. They're like, man, he could really hoop. And then it was one of those ones like really that training and got me in high school basketball. I was like, man, I really do miss this. Because it's more than just basketball. Like it never was just basketball to me. Like basketball is the fun part, but it was like, man, I get to like hang out with y'all, like mentor, like a lot of, and you can speak like a lot of time. A lot of these like we young, but like man, we some of these kids, father figures, mentors. It's like, and I'm taking you home right after practice, which I don't mind. Cause I'm like, nah, really, you're telling me stuff that you didn't tell nobody else. And like, cause you like really trust me. It's funny, like one of my old high school players, I'm not gonna say his name, but like he literally texted me like 2 days ago and he was like, man, he's like, man, I was just on Snapchat and like you popped up in one of my memories. Like, cause I think I was playing with somebody one-on-one and I was like shooting from the volleyball line. I told myself, I'm just score from the volleyball line. And he was like, man, he's like, you made that season like so much fun. Like when you was around, he's like, I always talk to my parents about you. Mind you, like I did high school basketball in 2022, and now we're in 2026. Like now he's like a junior in college. I was like, man, you still remember that? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm never gonna forget you. And I was like, wow. Like,
hey, that's just a part of the game. Like you said, it's an extension of it, right? You get to build these long-standing relationships, and that's important. Is key to be able to make someone's day, and to be able to add to their future. Because when you do things that are memorable, especially for kids growing up, they'll never forget.
Yeah,
they'll never forget. So, I got another question for you, my man. So, what was your playing career like, and how has it shaped the way you coach today?
Like I mentioned, I played at Spalding University in Louisville, Kentucky. He's a legend. His name is Coach Kevin Gray. Like at Spalding, he has all types of conference championships, a court named after him. I used to actually play for his AAU program growing up, which is still around to this day. He was like a real old school, strict coach, which you're kind of missing these days.
Yes.
He was like real big on like discipline and stuff like that. Like his AAU practices from like, he had kids from all the way from his oldest group was like 8th grade, from like 8th grade all the way to like 4th grade. We're all doing the same stuff, pivots, fundamentals, like it's not like let's keep it real. It's not like the AAU these days when you just roll the ball out and everybody just go play. Like, no, it was literally his way or no way. And as a kid, I used to tell my dad, I was like, y'all are crazy for making me go play for him. But it's like, it was probably the best thing to happen to me. Cause like because when I first got there, I was just playing in the park, just go out there, roll the basketballs down. And he's like, oh, we're not doing this. So like, it taught me like little stuff. Like I didn't realize like how I was not fundamentally sound. I walk in, there was at the school, we still practice at the college. The college does not change. I think it's about 6 baskets. Like there might be groups of 3 at each basket. Like I never get like, we would start like the first part of practice, like working on jab steps, like jab step for like the first 3 minutes. Then we jab step into the other side, cone drills. It's not one of those ones like I was pick up, like that wouldn't come to like the end, but it's like situational basketball. I was like, all right, we're playing to 5. You got to run our sets. Like we was doing college practices at like 10 years old. But like he was just real good. He's a legend. And in college, it was funny because I told myself, I was like, he told me, he was like, if you ever need somewhere to play, he's like, you can always come play for here. He was like, but he's real big on trust. He's like, just because I know you don't mean I'm gonna come play for you. So like my freshman year when I got there, I didn't play the first 5 games as a freshman. That's when I was, as a true freshman, I was 18 years old. That was back. It's crazy I'm saying back then, but like that's when like old college players were 21, 22. So I'm playing against them. I'm behind them. So like, yeah, that's like my first 5 games. I'm not playing. I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, man, I'm gonna leave. I'm ready to transfer. It's 5 games in the season. I'm already talking about I want to leave and transfer. And my dad was like, man, just stick it out. Like he gonna need he's like, your time's gonna come. And I never forget. It was like I think a game later, he literally threw me in the game. I had 16 points, 18 minutes. Been playing ever since then. But like still like the rest of that freshman year, I was like in and out the rotation and stuff like that. I mean, typical freshmen, like I'm playing behind 2 juniors,
Right.
and stuff like that. Which I understood that. Even I felt like, I mean, as all former athletes, like we all think the same. It's like, man, I should be playing over him. Like it's evident, it's inevitable. People ain't gonna say it, but I'll say it. Like we all think it. Like, man, I should be playing over him. But I was always in that gym. That's one thing he could always find me. Like him, our athletic director, I'm always in that gym because I'm a morning person. I'm the type of person I like to get up early, get my work in. So it was one of the ones like stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
Right.
So I think like the end of my freshman year, I averaged about like 6 points and like 10 minutes of play. And so going into my sophomore year, we brought in a good recruiting class, and like he brought me in the office. He was like, hey, like I was doing good in preseason and fall season and stuff like that. And he basically told me, like, because I'm small, I'm 5'10". We were starting guards who were 6'4", 6'5". Like our bigs was like 6'8". He's like, hey man, like and one day he was very transparent, which I'll always respect him to this day. He was like, yeah, are you one of our better players coming returning? Yes, but height wise, I understood it. I was fine with it. He's like, you won't be starting games, but you'll finish the games. At first my role was like a Lou Will, Jamal Crawford type role. I'm fine. I'm like, I get to play 23 minutes. I know I'm gonna get about 17. I'm gonna finish the game. I was like, oh, I'm good. Like we are good. I don't even want to be the star. So like I was just consistent. One of our guards got hurt, threw me in the starting lineup. In like a 4-game span, I had 27, 28, 51, and 37. And when he came back, I said, okay, I'm going back to the bench. He said, no. He's like, you will never touch the bench. So, but it's like I built that trust with him. And plus, like he always knew to find me. Like I'm gonna go to class and be in the gym and go home. I just lived in the gym. So sophomore year went from, and it's funny because like I tell kids, I'm like, all you need is like that opportunity. Because I literally, like I told you, my freshman year not playing to the very next year, most improved conference, most improved player to all conference. Like the only underclassman was all conference. Junior year was all conference again, became 1,000-point scorer. Then senior year was kind of weird. It was like the year after COVID. So like we'll play 2 games, sit out 2 weeks, play another game. So yeah, I really only played about like 3 years of college basketball.
Well, one thing I gotta say, coach is I think you're right when it comes to missing those coaches who were hard nosed. You know, you had to earn everything you were given. And I think nowadays we see a lot of coaching where nothing is given. I mean, nothing is earned, but it's just given.
Oh yeah.
And the game has severely changed. Even myself, you know, in high school when I played with our coach, he wasn't playing that. You know, you had to go and give out blood, sweat, and tears to get to where you got, and go through the ropes. I mean, some kids, they fall through the cracks. You get a player that's ranked in the nation, you know, they're going to start.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, that's understandable. You know, I get that. But, you know, if you're just coming in this program and the coach doesn't know you, you're going to work. You're going to have to work.
Man, it's funny because, like, those practices was, like, the most hardest times. But, like, looking back, it was, like, some of the most fun. Crazy is, like, I like the intense stuff like that. And, like, every first official practice was always at midnight. That was a tradition. We always say it was like, man, October 15th, midnight. Like those days start getting closer. We like, man, like October 15th right around the corner. Like it'd be October 14th. We in the gym getting taped and stuff like that. Because my freshman year, I had no idea what it was going. Everybody's like, all the classmen, man, October 15th. Like and they wasn't saying anything. I was like, man, it can't be that bad. We legit went from like midnight to like 3:15 in the morning, like all types of drills, like Coach Carter type drills. We ran. Oh my god! Like the first drill I think we started was called. Have you heard of X drill?
X drill.
Okay, so it's like you'll start on one end in the corner on the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
You run across, defensive slide
Yes.
on the baseline and backpedal, defensive slide. And it's like two people going at the same time. So we would start with that. He'd be like, keep your hands above your head.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, oh, this guy's crazy. We do an Indian run. You know how like Indian run, it's like the person starts from the back, just runs to the front.
Yeah.
Now his start from the back, run around the whole entire court. Then you get to the front. We'll do that. We do full court tip drills. I'm like, man, what are we doing? like what are we doing right now, coach? Like, I'm seeing people cramp up. Oh my God. Like, that's why I always tell people, like, when it came to the game, I'm like, all right, games is easy. Cause like, I don't think y'all understand what we truly go through in practice. Like, practice is hard, which it should. Well, people has mixed feelings with that, but practice was fun because we always competed. And with me, especially when I became one of the more top players, he would always stack the teams against me. He was like, okay, if you're really the best player, you can win with anybody. So you're on one team, you got the reserves, the starters are against you. And me and my boy Brian Tribble would just go back and forth, I'm not a trash talker. He would just get me started. Like, I'll miss a shot. He'd be like, he can't save y'all today. And I'm like, all right, you got me turned up now. But nah, like that time, Coach Gray, I'll give him all his credit. He's still doing it to this day. Like, he been coaching there since like 98. And I think he got coach of the year last year. I was like, wow, you're still running this league.
I was 4 years old.
Yeah, like he can't. He's certified. He's certified at Spalding. Because like it's one of those ones. It's like I can never question him. Cause I'm like, you win. Like, because they used to be NAIA, then they moved up. I think even when he was NAIA, he would do little flexes and stuff like that. Like, we'll go in his office. He'll have like 6 conference championship rings right there. I was like, man, that's all you. I was like, that's total. He was like, oh no, that's just from NAIA. He said, ever since we moved to NCAA, I done got 4 more. I'm like, okay, coach. Like, okay, we know you win. You win.
And as long as he keeps his philosophy going, he's gonna always win. Right?
Oh, just real big on discipline. And like, I mean, I talked to him last time I was in town. I was like, man, I understand. I understand where you was coming from. He's like, yeah. He's like discipline, structure. Like he was real big on that. Discipline and structure. Everything else will follow.
It will, absolutely. As long as those are your 2 foundations, everything else is gonna.
Like, it'll be little stuff. Like, we in practice, like he'd be like, tuck your jerseys in. Like, super old school, like tuck your jerseys in. Like, it's a funny story. I remember one time I came in practice. Our colors were blue, like blue and white. He really didn't care about what color socks you would wear. Me being me, I think I came in. I think I just grabbed the first pair of socks I saw when I left the crib. Now I had some red socks on. We doing a drill. He stopped the drill. He said, why you got on red socks? I'm like, really, coach? He was like, drop it. He's like, give me 10 Eagles. Eagles with burpees. We call it Eagles burpees. He's like, give me 10. He's like, give me 10. He's like, give me 10 Eagles. I'm like, okay. But nah, Coach God. Definitely one of my coaching mentors for sure.
Well, man, I think he built a monster in you, you know. I think he built a monster in you, especially being the scorer that you were. He definitely had an impact on that. So I want to go into the next segment, right? Let's talk about coaching philosophy. So my question for you is, what is your core coaching philosophy, especially when working with college athletes?
More so player development, but not just on the court, like developing on all aspects of life. Because we know this ball gonna stop bouncing at some point.
Right.
So I want you to be prepared for life outside of basketball. Yeah, basketball will always be basketball. but I want you to be prepared after basketball with life. So like even like today, like I was texting our former guys. I'm like, hey, you good? You okay? You need anything? Nah, coach, I'm all good. So like I'm always got that open. I'm real big on love. I'm like big lover. Love all my guys. Love everybody. That's how I was just raised and stuff like that. So like I always come in joking, crack a joke with them. Just like I want them to feel welcome, but not one of those ones like, oh, he just doing this because I play. Like, no, like even if you leave, like I'm still gonna talk to you. Like even like when I left the last school I came from, like I still talk to all the staff. I still talk to all the guys. One of them actually called me today and was like, man, like how's Florida? You're not in Virginia no more. I'm like, man, Florida great. So like real just big on that player development, always just keeping that relationship going no matter what.
That's important. And I like that you said that because, and what you made, the statement that you made was that the ball will eventually stop bouncing. And
Yeah.
that's very true. So you want to set these kids up to not just be the best basketball player they can be, but to also be the best version of themselves they can be. Because I think in today's society, we're missing a lot of role models,
Yeah.
especially in this younger generation. We're missing a lot of role models because of a lot of the silliness, like the YN culture and all this stuff. I think is a little detrimental to the image of athletes, right? The image
Hmm.
of the younger generation coming up. So I think when we can be in a position where we can mold these players to be high class citizens, I think that goes a long way.
Hmm.
Um, but man, that I love the fact that you said that, Coach. It's something that I definitely agree with. So, my next question for you: how do you balance skill development, toughness, and building character in your players?
I think it all plays a factor at the end of the day. Like skill development, of course, like you want to fine tune the skills, keep them going, make sure like everything is running right. But there's also gonna be days like you walk in and you just can't hit a shot. Even in a workout, like everything just like your shot, like the release just feels off, the ball don't feel right, your hands, all that type of stuff. So even with all of that, my whole thing is like even like in the workouts, like if you miss, like I don't want to see no palms, yeah, palms in your face. I don't want you to throw your hands up. Like I'm like, nah, like keep going. Like you gonna miss. Like I was work. Like one thing I used to always say, I'm like, you're gonna miss more shots than you make.
Right.
That's inevitable. Like if you see guys like, man, he shot 48% from the field. I'm like, yeah, if he shot the ball 100 times, he only made 48. He missed 52. Like you're gonna miss more than you make. Like that's okay. Just you gonna stop shooting? Like we don't stop shooting at all. That's one thing I'm real big on. Like man, just don't stop. Just keep going. So like even in a workout, you miss three in a row, and you'd be like, they'd be like, oh my god. I'm like, nah, keep going. Like more reps. Like whoever gets mad about more reps, keep going.
Right.
Like don't be upset. Like we get to do this again and again and again. Like keep going. Like I'm real big on that. So yeah. So I feel like all three of that plays a factor because like even all the workouts, like there might be a drill that where you just can't get it right at all. And so even in the game, they might be running a scheme that you just can't guard, or there might be a guy he just making every single shot. Like you're just gonna be like, oh well, it's just his day. Nah, to keep guarding.
Right.
It's gonna have to stop at some point. So I feel all that just plays all that's going into one.
Love it, love it, love it. Because at the end of the day, like you say, we're human, right? So we're not
Yeah.
gonna go into games and score. You might score 31 game, and then next game you might just be off and just hit for 14 or 12.
Yeah.
All layups. So just as long as you're instilling that confidence in those players to keep going, like, hey, I want you to shoot. I know you can shoot. Just having
Yeah.
an off night, just shoot. When you open, shoot the ball. If you have a play that's designed for you and you're open on a corner three, shoot the ball. Keep shooting.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do your
Uh,
road, do your job.
absolutely. Hey, keep defending this player. Yeah, he's doing his thing, but as long as you keep applying that pressure to make him at least get into tough shots, that's all I care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a shutout. Like he's a
Right,
college player for a reason. Like he's
right,
here for a reason.
right. So I love it. So I want to now go into your role at Florida Tech, right?
Hmm.
So what does your day to day look like as an assistant coach at Florida Tech?
Come well now being at Division 2 level, there's only about four of us, so we all got our hats and everything from recruiting, operations, admissions. But like as of right now, we're just reaching out to the kids that we like, we're recruiting and just talking to them, build those relationships, trying to work on getting them to campus, elite camp, all that stuff. But I know my role mostly would just be like the like being on the court, the player development, be hands on. But like as of right now in the summertime, which is different. Previously working for a Division 1 school, now coming to Division 2, our guys are not on campus on Division 2. So it's like some days, like, yeah, there's always something to do. Like we were like, all right, we're preparing for kids camp or we're about to hit the road this weekend, but it might be a 3 day span. It's like, all right, I done talked to my guys twice this week. I can only talk to them so much. I don't want to burn them out.
Right.
Then I'm just walking around, I'm like, man, just watching film, trying to get a idea of like what we can do. So like some days, like yeah, we're always like we're coaches, we're always busy. But there do be some days I'm like, man, we're just sitting here, like sitting in the office. I'm like, I really don't gotta be here. But like once we get in the season, like then I always say once August gets here, then all hands on deck.
Gotcha. So my next question for you: how are you helping build the culture and identity for Florida Tech?
Just show them love and just be real with them. I'm not one of the people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't lie to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nice.
You gotta be honest, which is kind of hard. It's not. Well, I'm not gonna say hard. It's more challenging these days because, like, like a lot of these kids are getting told like, "Oh, you're this, you're that." But it's like, honestly, it's like, no, you can be that.
Right.
You're just not that. I'm not one of the ones to be like, no, you're not that. You're not that just yet. If you want to stay here, that's fine, but just know you're going to stay here. But if you want to go like this, you got to do X, Y, and Z. But
Love it.
you can't be. I'm not one of those ones that's like, no, you can't be there. No, you can be here, but I'm gonna give them a step by step thing. I was like, are you willing to do this to get to here at the end of the day? So
I think having that type of mentality is important, right? Because
mhm.
we're around basketball, right? A lot of these kids, they hear, "Oh, you're gonna be this type of player in the NBA," right? And we kind of see every year a lot of these kids that are getting told, "Oh, you're an NBA player, you're this and you're that," sometimes fall by the wayside,
Yeah.
and not just even fall by the wayside. Some of them are forgotten. I think. Uh, I mean, there's plenty of college basketball players who were told they're one and done, and
Hmm.
they're fighting for 6 year eligibility.
Yeah.
So uh, when you put it in that retrospective of just being honest and transparent, and I think that's extremely important, especially to a kid's psyche, a player's psyche, right?
Hmm.
Because when you mislead, you're not doing them a favor at all.
Hmm.
You're essentially putting them in a losing situation uh,
Yeah.
at life. I mean, that could discourage them. Uh, that might even lead them to maybe even quitting the game altogether just
Yeah.
from taking bad advice or anything like that. So I think it's extremely important to be like that. So my next question: what should Florida Tech fans be excited about for the upcoming season?
And just like exciting basketball. I know building a new culture and history. Like our head coach is he going into his second year, young. Like we're all young on this staff, so like different energy, play fast, shoot a lot of threes. Like last year, they led the conference in most threes made in the game, most threes per game, and I think honestly, I think they was like top five in the country. Just exciting basketball, but also playing as a team and whatnot. And especially like us being an engineering school, is like no engineers could hoop too. Like at the end of the day. Like there, you'll be surprised who could play good basketball. So, but they should just expect that. We're trying to build it though. I'm always out there. I'm always out in the community, like telling like, hey man, come to games, show my face around, be like, hey, like just cause like I'm an assistant coach, don't mean I'm better. Like we're no different. Like you can always come up to me, talk to me. I'm always gonna say something back. I'm not rude. Wasn't raised like that. So yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, I love it. Um, I love the fact that that's some good things for Florida Tech to look forward to. I'm not gonna lie. I think that they got a really solid assistant coach at the helm that's gonna lead the way for Florida Tech to get to where they need to be. So,
So it's not just me, it's everybody.
oh
So
yeah, I mean for sure,
yeah.
but definitely, gotta give credit to everyone, but
Hmm.
especially you. It's all hands on deck when it comes to building up a program, and I think I think they got the right guys at the helm to do that.
Yeah.
So now I want to kind of segue into our next section, right? Our next segment of the show, which is player development and recruiting.
Mhm.
So, my question for you: what do you look for when evaluating talent at the high school and AAU level?
Well, for our school specifically, you have to have like a certain GPA to get in. So the first thing we're going to ask is your grades and your transcript, and that will just determine whether we're going to pursue or not. If your grades are not good, I wish you the best. Can't waste my time with you.
Right.
But if you do got the grades and you can play and you play our way, not really our way, we see you that you could be a good piece into our system and our culture, then yeah. Then like outside of basketball, like I'll talk to the head coach and be like, okay, what's he like? But some of these coaches, they be like, they're you're gonna sell your guy. So and I actually got this tip from one of my old coaches I used to work for. He will call up to the school and talk to the guidance counselor and be like, hey, tell me about this kid. You deal with him on a day-to-day basis. Tell me how he is. And like you'll get the truth from him, truth from them. Or the kid he's talking to, he'd be like, man, who's your best friend? Oh, my best friend. Oh, my best friend's TJay. Oh, give me his number. So I'm gonna give him a call. See how is he like? Or like, oh, let me talk to athletic trainer. Cause even like as former player, we just used to tell our athletic trainer everything. Like we used to be in the room getting treatment. We just be like, man, coach was just tripping today. And
Right.
of course, like she's basically like our therapist. He's like, hey, let me call the athletic trainer. How's your relationship with your athletic trainer? Oh, like we talk all the time. All right, give me her number so I can give me their numbers so I can talk to them. So like we want to, yes, we want good locker room guys, good culture guys, but it's like we do got to do a lot of digging to see like, okay, like, all right, don't lie to me. So don't say like, oh, he's gonna come. He's a good guy because I want him to come play for y'all. Like, no, is he really a good person? Like, how is he when things are not going his way? Does he still gonna show up, or he just not just be there? So does that make sense?
Absolutely. I, I
Yeah.
I I think character is extremely important. I think character is extremely important. Like I was telling one coach, I don't think there's a coach out there in the college basketball realm that wants to deal with a kid who is a nuisance, right?
Yeah.
Basket case, any of those derogative or negative connotations for someone, right? No one wants to deal with a player who has an attitude, walks around like you can't. They're just not coachable,
Hmm.
and I think that's extremely important. And I like the fact that y'all consider grades as well. Like myself, I'm a 4.0 GPA kind of guy,
Hmm.
and I'm trying my hardest to keep it. But I think when players have a really good GPA, it shows that they take school seriously,
Hmm.
and maybe they want more out of school than just to play college basketball.
Oh no, absolutely. That's on that transcript we like to see, or let's call and be like, how many absences did he have? Like, I don't like we like do a lot of digging, but so far so good. Like this year, like I like the guys we have, big culture guys.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. All right. Can you share a story of a player who really transformed under your guidance?
Ooh. I'll say Jacoby Johnson, the kid that I started training. Like even like my senior year, of course he wasn't playing. Then like by the time like I mean I always like kept in touch with him whenever I was in town. We would work out. Like ended up becoming a 3 year starter, all conference. Big. I think he was second in the running for defensive player of the year. And like honestly, he'll just text me after the games. He like, man, like can you watch the film? Like my shot was off. Like, can you let me know what was up? And I'll just be like, oh yeah, you're leaning. Like your feet, you're off balance. I was like, slow your shot down. Like, yeah, you got a quick release. You don't gotta get it quicker to really get your shot off. Like, no, just or I'd be like, you're standing up, you're not ready to shoot. That's why you're not getting no shots off and stuff like that. So yeah, honestly, really him.
Nice, nice. Like I said before, I always say it, man. It's always a good thing to be able to make somebody make somebody's future, not just their day, but their future, to be able to add to it and not take away from it. I think that that's extremely important to the development of a player, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's awesome. So my next question, I like this question too. How has the current landscape of college basketball between the transfer portal and NIL affected roster building at the D2 level?
With the D2 level is kind of different. I'm still learning it because like some schools have money and some schools don't.
Mhm.
So a lot of those kids who come from Division 1 who goes to Division 2 is honestly just like trying to get their numbers or just probably trying to play to ultimately get back to the Division 1 level and with the NIL and stuff like that. But honestly, it's like you got some programs. I mean, it's basically like the same as like Division 1. Like you got some programs who have quite a nice size budget NIL, and then you have some that's like we don't have a rock to throw, but hey, you gonna come here, play hard, be coached hard, and whatnot. So, but the transfer portal, of course, you got guys leaving, go find new places and stuff like that, which is inevitable. Like that's just the nature of the game. You just got to adapt to it, honestly.
Yeah, I could say the one thing I do. I've always vouched that players should get paid in college, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
always vouched for that. But since NIL has started up in college, I think a lot of stuff that's been paid for and has hit uh, in a ridiculous level, right? And what I mean
Mm-hmm.
is, like I talk to all the coaches all the time. You have a player that's at Baylor, right? A football player. They
Mm-hmm.
paid for him a mansion, like 3 luxury or 4 luxury cars, and I think it kind of comes to the point where it's like, when is when is it too much? Like
Mm-hmm.
when is it get to a point where you're doing way too much? And I don't blame the player. He asked for it. Maybe he did or maybe he didn't. Maybe he asked for it. They gave it to him. I blame the school. I blame the school for contributing to that. But for him to be able to achieve financial wealth at that degree
Mm-hmm.
in college, it's like, what's the rush of getting to the NFL? When the
Right.
NFL is supposed to be the plateau, right? It's supposed to be,
Right.
hey, I made it here. Now, staying is a completely different situation,
Yeah.
but making it is supposed to be something that is memorable. And now it's like, well, I don't have to get a mansion in the NFL because I have one now in college. So
Right.
I'm good. So I don't know, just my take on it. So now I want to go into some broader topics, right? So when I ask this question, I'm definitely definitely listen because this is something that I'm wanting to do. Something I talked to you about briefly, right? So, what advice would you give to aspiring young coaches trying to break into the college ranks?
I mean, I still consider myself trying to break through the ranks and whatnot. But honestly, just like build those good relationships. Uh, be honest, be real with yourself. Don't lie. Like loyalty is a big thing in college coaching, but you don't really see a lot of loyalty at the end of the day. But honestly, just I'll just use myself for example. Like I always just come in and work. I'm just putting my head down and going to work. And like your reputation is all you really have. So it's like you don't want to like blow your chance early, even if like you redeem yourself. But it's like they're like, oh man, like yeah, he's good, but like he's good when it's only going his way. But you know, like if he don't get promoted, then he just gonna like sulk and pout and like not do what he wants to do and stuff like that. Or like he might have his own hidden agenda. So honestly, I mean, I'm right there with those young coaches. I'm trying to break through. So really just continue to just put your head down, work, and like just think that it will pan out. Not saying like I hope it pans out. Like no, it will pan out.
I appreciate that, and I accept that for sure. Because a lot of people don't understand it's a work and a grind to get to where you
Oh
want.
man, what? I'll tell my boys what I be doing, and they look at me like they was like, you're crazy. They like, what's your hours? I'm like, I don't have set hours. Like I'm working from the time I wake up and whenever I just pass out. Like it's not an 8 to 4 or a 9 to 5 where I'm like, all right, I know I gotta be at work at this time. And I know I'm gonna leave at this time. It's like, especially like when we get into games during the season, it's like, all right, we'll practice at a certain time. Then like we're staying after, watch a film, game planning. I'm like, all right, what we gonna do? I look up, I'm like, hey, it's 10 o'clock. I've been here since 8 a.m. So, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Hey, and that's what a lot of people don't get is that
Yeah.
it's it's a work, and I'm
Oh,
definitely
you gotta be
willing.
a different breed. You gotta be a different breed to like do this. Like the best way I tell my boy, I'm like, I'm really banking on 18 to 23 to 24-year olds to win me games to feed my family. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah, you're insane. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, like you said, as long as you put the work in, the fruit of what you put in that basket is gonna show.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, my next question: how do you see the game evolving in the next few years?
It's always going to evolve. Like it's not gonna stay the same. I think it's more so like, are you willing to adapt to it or you want to get left behind? Like you see more threes being shot, and people always say like, "Oh, Steph Curry, like he's the reason by all this." Ultimately, I'm like, no, the Warriors, it worked for them.
Right.
The problem became everybody else thought they could do that. Whereas like sometimes it just doesn't work like that. Like, yeah, you're going to take more. Yeah, threes are worth more than twos, but like you have to look at like who do you have in your system. Like let's look around. You're not going to see a bunch of Steph Currys and Klay Thompson. Yeah, you can have good shooters, but you're not going to have the like. Sometimes you just need luck. Like it's like, man, like we got two guys that we drafted some way somehow they became the greatest, the top five. With Steph Curry, he is the greatest shooter of all time. You got Klay Thompson, who's arguably top three shooter of all time. It's like you got them on the same team. Sometimes you get the luck of the draw,
Right.
but the problem is like people try to emulate that, which can like it can help you because like man, he could really shoot the ball, and you got some teams like man, they're just jacking up threes and they're not making them. Like so, but ultimately, I feel like at the end of the day, like you got to adapt. You could adapt and throw your own little wrinkle into it. Like you don't have to fully get rid of, oh no, like I'm just not gonna do it my way no more. Like, no, you do have to adapt. But it's like, all right, you can still add your wrinkle. Like, okay, you're a coach for a reason. You're here for a reason.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's crazy to think that even within the last 5 years, right, the game I think have evolved every year.
Yeah.
There's always a new element of college basketball that's being added that wasn't there the year before. You know, I think the one way it has evolved is through the transfer portal, right? You see a lot of kids who might be sitting on the end of the bench. I mean, it's not like 20 years ago where kids sitting on the end of the bench would stay there and it'll be like, okay, now it's my turn.
Hmm.
These kids are transferring. And, if they're not getting the opportunity that quick, especially if they're, underclassmen like freshmen or sophomore, they're leaving. So, I think on the college spectrum, I think you have to be able to manage and micromanage on a very like small scale,
Hmm.
and you have to ensure all players' goals are being met. And if they're not, unfortunately, they are taking the road of going to a different school.
Like I don't mind a kid leaving because like, hey, like maybe your opportunity is not there, and like, hey, if your opportunity is elsewhere and you do good, I'm happy for you. But it's like sometimes it is showing kids like you're not like fighting through adversity. It's like even yeah, like my freshman year when I didn't play, but when I looked, I was like, he's a junior, he's a junior, he's a senior, he's a senior. I'm like, okay, them two are graduating. He's hurt all the time, so he's iffy. It's really just him. I got a chance. It's like I'm not buried on the bench. So like, but yeah, I think like people just want. I mean, kids these days. I mean, I don't blame them. Like sometimes like they want to go somewhere and play, which ultimately is like you got to pick the right system. Don't just pick the school. It's like okay, like do you want to go to Baylor, where you might be PG3, or you want to go to you want to go to St. Louis, who is still a top 25 caliber team, and you potentially could be PG2 as a
Mhm.
true freshman
Mhm.
and weigh it out. So really just stuff like that.
Opportunities. I love it. So, all right. We got to the final segment of it, and it makes me sad because if I could, this would go on all day.
Hmm.
But just like a good movie, it has to come to an end, right? So, my question for you: what's the one thing most people don't know about you or your coaching style?
I'm really figuring that out myself. Like the past school I worked at, I did more player development. So I was like behind the scenes, not really behind the scenes. I was more reserved and quiet. I'm naturally a quiet person, but I have realized that I do know how to project my voice. And I'm not afraid to project my voice. And also, I'm not afraid to tell you like what I had to say. Never will be disrespectful, never gonna berate you, none of that. But it's like, I'm not afraid. I think that was the last coach I worked for. He was like, man, like he was like, you're gonna be good. He was like, I just really want you to project your voice. And like I didn't realize how I think it's like now I had that opportunity to project my voice. Not much of a yeller, just like just get straight to my point and stuff like that. I could be pretty fiery, but not one of them ones like running rah rah rah. It's like I'm here with you. Like, are you here with me? Like, you gonna run through this wall for me? I'm gonna run through this building for you. Like, that's me.
You know, Coach
And
Montgomery.
ultimately, I'm a nice guy. Ultimately, I'm just a nice guy. Like, people will see me. It's like, man, you look mean. I said, I promise you, you say my name, I'm gonna instantly start smiling. Like, I'm laughing. Like, what are you laughing? Like, what are you smiling for? I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm alive.
You might be my brother. You might be my long lost brother because I'm the same way. I'll be smiling. What you smiling for? Cause I'm happy about life. I'm here. I ain't have to wake up this morning, but I did.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people didn't get that opportunity,
No, for
unfortunately.
sure.
So I'm very thankful, very thankful. So my last question: if you could give one piece of advice to young players chasing their basketball dreams, what would it be?
I'm not gonna say, yeah, you keep on working, keep grinding, but like ultimately just be honest with yourself. don't lie to yourself. Like I knew at an early age I wasn't a Division I player, but I knew I was a college basketball player. And I thank my dad for telling me, he was like, hey, like you're not a Division I player, but you could definitely go play college. Somebody will go pay for your school. So it's like if I told myself, like, I mean, I'm a Division I player, I'm a Division I player, and like I turned down all those schools that were recruiting me, then I'd probably been left with nothing. So like my advice to kids is like if you have an opportunity to go play and like somebody really wants you a part of their program and like not one of those ones like, man, I just want you here to be here. Like, no, like they truly value you. Like take it. Like don't get caught up in the name, divisions. Like if you have an opportunity to go play, just go. Cause I guarantee you don't want to look back as like, man, I went here and didn't play. But it was like, man, I played here. I was all league 3 out of the 4 years. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Like at the time, nobody would. A lot of these people don't know what difference between what division and what. Like, yeah, you know the Dukes, Kentuckies, but it's like, man, I was a Division II player here, and I did this, this, and that. When they go back to that school, like everybody just recognized them and whatnot. So yeah, I would just tell the kids like, man, just be honest with yourself, and just if you got that right opportunity, go take. Just don't be afraid to take it. Just jump, go take it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, that's it. And for all the ones that are looking for an offer from Florida Tech, my main man, Coach Montgomery, let you guys know how to get that offer. That's it, guys. Coach Montgomery, once again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Clutch City Connect podcast. It is greatly appreciated to have your presence here. If you can, do me a favor, my man. Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
My Instagram is Marcus.Montgomery, and my was it X now? X is _ Marcus 5 lowercase o 2.
Well, guys, you know where to find my man. Look, go give my guy a follow. Send him all your footage, all of it, and get some advice. Guys, that's it. This is your boy TJay Anderson and my main man, Coach Marcus Montgomery, and we are logging out. Peace.